Do you ever feel like you're living someone else's life? Like you can't stand a lot of daily things you are doing, but feel stuck? Then watch till the end. This video is for you. Hey guys, the main difference between people who achieve some type of success in life and those who don't is the burning desire to succeed. And this is true in any area of life. For some, that motivation might be a passion. For others, it might be a past trauma or life event. But whatever it is, you need to find the reason that pushes you forward. I grew up with my sister and a single mom on the minimum wage. So for me, it was seeing my mom struggling to get to the end of the month. And don't get me wrong, I had a very happy childhood, but money was always tight. This is why very early on, I developed the desire to never have financial issues. I did not want to have a feeling of money being always so tight. So at 16, I started serving in restaurants every summer. And by the time I turned 18, I was bartending full-time in hotels. But after a few years, even though I was working hard, I realized two things. I was not going to be wealthy just by working hard, and I was not meant to work for someone else. For me, I just had a realization that I needed to start now, while I was still young, and I knew I wanted to make a change. Change, take the leap. We all have our vices, whether it's unhealthy habits like smoking or poor diet, and in the back of your head, you know that is bad for you. But it's not until you have a medical scare or something drastic happens that finally gives you the drive to make changes. For most of us, it takes a significant event to have a wake-up call and finally take action. And that's fine, as long as we can take that leap of faith and make the changes needed. So for me, long-term wealth was my goal, but how I was going to get there? I wanted to be wealthy, but don't most people want to be wealthy? Want is unfortunately just not enough. You need to truly desire it, plan for it, and take action. For your life to change, you have to change. The concept is simple, but what's hard is to actually make the switch. Everyone knows that if you wanted to lose some weight, then eating better and exercising are the way to go. You have to make some changes in your eating habits, and you have to get off the couch, period. So if you do these two things consistently, you will see some results. And because it doesn't come naturally to most of us, making a solid plan to stay accountable, measuring your progress, and keeping your eyes on the prize when you don't feel motivated will help you get there. Well, it's the same for your finances. So I made a commitment to myself that one day I'll become financially free, and that was not negotiable. I focused on my commitment every single day, and I started to do some research on wealthy people, and the common thread that they all had is that they own businesses and real estate. That was my eureka moment. I then knew what I was going after. I needed to acquire both, so I made a plan to work toward this goal with a timeline to keep me on track. But it's not a one-size-fits-all. So first things first, you have to decide what is your wealthy life looks like. This is different for each one of us. Wealth doesn't necessarily need to be money or status. Start by clearly identifying and stating what it is that you truly want. It will help you make the right plan for it. And it doesn't have to be a perfect one or set in stone. You just want to know what directions you're going towards. You should know that most likely your goals might change along the way, and that's okay. You'll just have to tweak and readjust your plan. That's part of it. For me, my original plan for my wealthy life was to retire before I was 40. I used to see that as the ultimate success. So I started my investing journey with this in mind. And for me, what has been working is doing a 5-year plan on how many properties I needed to acquire and which kind of businesses I was going to start to get there. And reevaluating is key. I evaluate every year to see if I'm on track. But as I was getting closer to my goal, and because of the businesses I've started along the way, I realized that I only had the strong desire to retire when I was an employee. Retiring, to me back then, meant sitting on the beach, no work, no worries. But working for myself was a game changer. I realized that retirement wasn't the goal, financial freedom is. It's because at the time, I remember feeling like I was living someone else's life. I wasn't dealing well with authority, and I deeply felt like I could do a better job, something more. The desire to start my own business was growing stronger and stronger. So I quit my job to open my own business, and even though it was difficult at times, I knew it was the right decision. It felt right. It was more fulfilling. When you start living life on your terms, it amplifies the wins and the losses. When I was winning, it was because of me. And when I was losing, it was also my fault. Whether I was making good or bad decisions, it was all on me. Nowhere to hide. You grow tremendously with this kind of accountability and when you take responsibility for your actions. So I wanted to retire based on what I was doing at that time. But when you do something that you really enjoy and you make money doing it, then you don't care about retiring anymore. My goals evolved along the way, and so did my plan. Now, looking back, my real goal was to get a steady income every month, regardless of what I'm doing on a daily basis. So trust me when I say that time is passing so quick that if you don't make a 5-year plan based on your goals, you'll get somewhere, but perhaps not where you want to be. I love this quote by Jim Rohn. He says that in 5 years from now, you will arrive. The question is where? If you keep up the present discipline and present pace that you are on, where will you be in 5 years? Well, the probabilities are that in 5 years from now, you will arrive either in a well-designed destination or in an undesigned destination. And trust me, you don't want to be in an undesigned destination. So it's actually a great exercise to do. Take some time for yourself and reflect. Grab a piece of paper and ask yourself the right questions. Put your thoughts, ambitions down on paper. Put it out there in the universe. What do I really desire? What do I want to become? If I could do anything or be anywhere, what would I do? How do I want my life to look like in 5 years from now? Don't be shy. Write everything. What would make you happy? The type of partner you want to be with. Let your mind run free. And if you have trouble answering some of these questions, don't beat yourself about it. Take your time and keep the idea growing in your head. Most people know what they don't want, but it's a little more difficult to know exactly what we do want, truly want. And if you can figure it out, try to think about when you'll be on your deathbed or you're reading the last chapter of your book. The day you're dying and you look back at your life, what does it look like? Are you happy with the outcome and you have no regrets? Did you do the things that you intended to do? Did you travel as much as you wanted to? Or did you spend the time with the people that matter the most? That's all we try to do, live our lives without regrets. And planning it helped tremendously. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and consider subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you next week.